The holidays have come around, and the need to buy presents for someone who loves Pokemon has reared its ugly head. Don't worry, I got your back. As a fellow Pokefan who loves nearly every facet of the Pokemon franchise, the massive multimedia franchise that it is, I have 10 ideas in this list that can help you out. First, you need to go to the fabled Poke Center. You don't need to buy a plane ticket to fly to New York or import things in from Japan. No, we have access to the Pokemon Center online. If I had $1,000, I alone could spend it on one singular tab in this website. Yes, the Plushies. Who doesn't love a good plush? Like a rock collection, but not as deadly. This selection alone could easily fill someone's whole Christmas list. If you want to be more secret about it, be sure to ask what their favorite Pokemon is, or what their top favorite legendary starter, or any number of questions to get as many Pokemon that you know they like, so you can blow all your budget on plushies. And maybe get them some other items also related to those Pokemon. But if you insist on not doing that, I have some other gift ideas for you. If plushies aren't their deal, maybe they liked a rock instead. Now, I mean a figure. There's a lot of little display figures on the website, some cheap, some not, but all gorgeously rendered and would please your gift receiver if they're into displaying a collection. Speaking of collections, how about a really cool case for the Gameboy Color, or Game Boy Advance Pokemon games? Since the original packaging for those games were all cardboard, it's most likely that if your gift receiver has a treasured copy of Red, Crystal, or Emerald, they are chilling in some box somewhere left to be forgotten, or, heavens forbid, randomly displayed on an acrylic stand collecting exorbitant amount of dust. I mean, if you like doing that, go ahead, but double check with the person you're buying this gift for if they would be interested in something like that or this other option. For this other option, pop on over to Etsy and you'll find several sellers who customize clear cases with high scans of the original box art. With this, you can now display your loved and cared for version of Crystal and see if you like lining up your games by their spine. Is your person not so much into video games, instead more into the card games? Maybe they'd like a way to display their cards. If they had a favorite line, this trio card displayer will let them display some of their favorite cards with ease. Of course, I'd always check to see if they are into that sort of thing, because some people who are into Pokemon cards are more into the card game than collecting. If that's the case, look into buying them Playmats. Of course, the Pokemon Center wins again by having a fantastic selection that is usually out of stock, but they also stock really high quality deck boxes. Of course, some competitive players have a preference for these sorts of things, so it's always better to double check to see if they have a preference. Binders for TCG fans is always a good investment as well. Collectors and players alike will always have a need for one of these. The best brand binder I've ever come across has to be the Vault X brand, though any zippered binders with built-in sleeve holders, not 3-ring binders, those kill cards. So zippers, built-in sleeves, those are excellent. Vault X just has good prices and good colors. And for good cards, you'll need good sleeves. Collectors are usually fine with garden variety packs of penny sleeves, but players usually have a preference for the types of sleeves they play with. Katana and Dragon Shields are the top fan favorites, but make sure you double check with your competitive TCG player to see if they already have a preference. And make sure you always buy cards and standard size. That is what fits Pokemon cards. And staying on the Pokemon card train, try buying them cards of their favorite Pokemon. Of course, any fan could like these, and some Pokemon can get really up there price-wise. Buying them a couple of cards of their favorite Pokemon is a really cool and unique touch that could really brighten their day. The website I personally recommend for doing this is TCG Player, as it is really consumer friendly and it lets you sort by lower prices to get the best bang for your buck, and it doesn't have really high shipping. Last but not least, perhaps surprise your budding competitive buddy with helping boot the bill to a nearby regional. Now I know this is not realistic for every person. Not every person once, or are super competitive in the trading card game, the video game, or in Pokemon Go. But for people who are and really want to go to a regionals at least once in their life and have never been, the experience alone of going to a regionals is something extremely special and will create memories for them that will impact them for the rest of their lives. So if your friend has an interest in going one day, maybe surprise them with helping pay their fee. Now, that's not a cheap present, but I think it's a really thoughtful one, especially for a champion in training. And those were 10 gift ideas for Pokemon fans. There's certainly different level of Pokemon fans out there, and many will just be satisfied with plushes from the Pokemon Center alone. But I hope there was enough variety in this video for you guys to pick through. I normally make a lot of Pokemon centered content, so if you're interested in watching more of that, why not click the like and sub button below to stick around for a little bit. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye!